Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. You're not rocking with the best. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. We got to go with today, y'all. I said we got to go with today, y'all. I just had to come on the air a little early tonight. Little early because something was just beating down on my chest. Something plops up on you. You got to jump on it. You got to continue to move. You got to let your feelings out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let my feelings out. But before we start this show, I have to wish our youngest daughter a very happy birthday. Happy birthday to Chantel. We love you. We love what you've become. We love where you're going. We love everything about you. So happy birthday to you. Turn up. Enjoy your day. Now, I'm reading articles. I'm reading stuff. And I come across something that says, Dawn Staley, head coach of South Carolina women's basketball, three-time national champion, kept and is blamed for Caitlin Clark not making the Olympic team. I was like, okay, what the hell? That's the first thing I had to do. I'm like, oh, so now Dawn Staley is the fault. We gotta find some fault with somebody, so it gotta be Dawn Staley. Because the back and forth with Dawn Staley and Iowa basketball and all this hoopla, it has to be Dawn Staley was the deciding factor for Caitlin Clark not being on the Team USA team that is going to Paris. It is Dawn Staley's fault. Well, let's be clear with a few things. Let's be very clear with a few things. First off, ain't nobody going to say some crazy mess about Dawn Staley, especially when it's infactual. I don't even know if that's the word, but infactual, not factual. Okay, so we're not going to say that. Okay, we will protect our own. We'll protect our queen, who has proven herself over and over and over again. And I guess she has to continue to prove herself. Now, a little education for the various media outlets out there talking about this mess. Okay, this is the deal. You have the Team USA Olympic Committee. It ain't just Dawn Staley who making the decisions. Dawn Staley, Simone Augustus, one of the best players who ever played basketball, is on that committee. Old Dominion head coach Delisha Milton-Jones, who also played in the W. Connecticut Sun president Jennifer Rosati, who also was a legend in the WNBA. And oh my God, the WNBA head of league operations, Bethany Donovan, is on this committee. There ain't no way that Dawn Staley said, like, oh God, we got to keep her off the team. Because she waved Raven Johnson. Oh, we got to keep her off the team. What are we talking about? What are we discussing? Why is that even a thing? These media outlets are they losing their mind. They are losing their mind. Y'all have to look at actual stats versus real stats. Y'all have to analyze that. You have to think about that. Y'all have to consider this right here. Caitlin Clark is averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Those are outstanding numbers, especially for a rookie. Outstanding numbers, no matter how you slice that. Those are the actual stats for Caitlin Clark. Wonderful. That is what's being transmitted all over the place. That's what you're seeing on the New York Post, the Athletic, every outlet. Every outlet. Those are what you're saying. ESPN. Those are what you're talking about. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. How in the world can she be left off this roster? Okay. Excuse me. How can she be left off that roster? Now I'm gonna tell you about the real stats. This is the real stats that these the fans of women's basketball know. The fans of women's basketball know, but some of these times they don't want to actually talk about it because they work for a certain company, they work for an organization, they work and they got to protect stuff. So these are the real stats that you have to look at when you are discussing a player who's going to be a great player, in my humble opinion, but you actually got to talk about now. Talk about now. So those 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists are great. But this is also a player who is leading the WNBA in 3-point attempts, averaging 9 3-point attempts per basketball game, but only shooting 33% from the 3-point line. That's not what they're talking about. This is not the discussion that is going on in the barbershops, in the hair salons, at the beauty salons, in the post office, in the mall. Those are the stats that nobody's talking about. Those are the things. Okay? She's shooting a lot of attempts at the basket behind the 3-point line. But the only thing we're talking about is, this 33-footer from the logo, she's playing outstanding basketball. She is shooting 33% from 3. We're not going to have a parade for someone who is shooting like there. There are multiple players in the WNBA who are shooting a higher percentage. Well, you like, yeah, So how she averages 17 points? Well, she's very efficient from the free throw line. She's shooting about 90% from the free throw line. She's averaging about 13 to 14 attempts overall per basketball game, which puts her seventh in the league in terms of attempts. Okay, she has the 3rd highest usage rate in the WNBA. So if you have the 3rd highest usage rate, and some fans are going to get pissed off at me because I'm talking about stuff that y'all don't want to talk about. I'm talking about stuff that y'all don't want to talk about. I'm talking about the Caitlin Clark fans, and we're going to wave palm branches and we're going to say, oh, by y'all, and all these different things. Here is the real. This is basketball stuff. This is stuff y'all need to know. If you have the ball 27.9% of the time, that is your point guard. She doesn't need to lead the league in turnovers. She's averaging 6 turnovers per basketball game. That is the real. That is the reality. Your point guard, who y'all are saying that should be on Team USA, the best players in the United States, is leading the WNBA in turnovers. It's not a trend because folks going to DM me and say, they can't hold on to the ball. They can't do this. She led college basketball last year in turnovers. This isn't new. It isn't new, but we never talk about those things. We never talk about it. She's getting 6 assists. She's getting 6 turnovers. Your point guard. We're not going to talk about those things. We're not going to talk about offensive rating, the defensive rating. Those things go over some folks' head because, oh, my God, Caitlin Clark. Oh, everybody wants to get these autographs. Oh, we're selling out stadiums. Out of the 60 starters in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark ranks 52nd in offensive rating. Offensive rating for the newbies, offensive rating, talk about points, rebounds, assists, turnovers, shooting percentage. She's shooting 37% from the field. 37% from the field, 33% from the 3-point line. 32.7 to be exact. And y'all talking about she should be on the Olympic team? Are you kidding me? And then we're talking about defense. Like, whoa, that is a novel thing. Let's have a discussion about defense. Indiana Fever is horrible at defense. Horrible. Disgusting at defense. Caitlin Clark ranks 57th out of 60 starters in the WNBA in defensive rating. What are y'all looking at? I am bugging. What do we? If you actually watch both sides of the ball, just watch both sides of the ball. Y'all, some folks are just enamored with the novelty, with the media scrum, because you're selling out stadiums and all these different things. But when we're just talking about basketball, straight up basketball, I can give you a list of players that are having a way better year than Caitlin Clark, especially if you're talking about offense and you're talking about defense. Because at the end of the day, defense matters. South Carolina has just won a championship a couple months ago because of defense. Their offense was sensational too, but defense is what led them to it. And a 38-0 undefeated championship. Okay? Defense matters. Take a break. Cheers. Nneka Ogwumike. Ever heard of her? 2016 MVP. Ever? DeWanna Bonner, balling out. Yeah, you talking about post players. You talking about post players. Talk about some guards. Kayla McBride. Kayla McBride is straight balling out. Maddie Sechrist, Ty Harris. Like, Cap, you going like straight Gamecocks, right? You talking about Ty Harris, so you talking about Gamecocks. Yo, I'm talking about offense and defense. Ty Harris will lock you up. And she's shooting 44% from the three-point line. Your girl ain't. She's not. Alicia Gray. I think Alicia Gray is the most unsung player in the WNBA. And she's shooting 46% from three. And she plays defense. Like Ryan Howard. You ever heard of her? Ryan Howard? Oh, yeah, she good too. She good. De'Erica Hamby balling out with Los Angeles Sparks. And I love me some Cameron Brink. But the only thing I'm hearing about from the Sparks is Cameron Brink and a little bit of Rakia Jackson. Hamby is balling out. Hamby will be an all-star. You know, because the media is focused on one or two players doesn't mean they ain't balling. She's balling. A name that I don't care for at all when she was playing against the Gamecocks, and that is Sophie Cunningham. But she has, played 7 years in the W? And she is playing nice. The players that I'm talking about are what Caitlin Clark fans are not familiar with. You're just not familiar with it. And it's called efficiency. It's called efficiency on offense and defense. It's not hard. It's not hard. But if you're just looking at the optics and you're just saying, yo, she's in all those threes. How can you have the player who set all these records in college? How can you have that player not on this Team USA roster? She don't play a lick of defense. Not a lick of defense. One of the worst defensive players in the WNBA. She was one of the worst defensive players in college in terms of starters. I mean, y'all is bugging. Oh my God. I can go on and on. Somebody named Dejanay Carrington. You might have heard of her. She's a baller. And she's the top 3 perimeter defender in the W. In the W. Who else is having a better year than old Caitlin Clark? Angel Reese. Yeah, Angel Reese is. And when I'm talking about better years, this is what I gotta put this in context. Gotta say this in a way that so everybody can understand it. So we're talking about this right here. When I'm doing my list, this is Captain Will's list. Because I do it blindly. When I'm doing my list, I look at that. Obviously, I watch the games, so I have that perspective. But I also look at the statistical models blindly, so I don't have no bias. No bias. And Captain Will's metric of determining who are the better players in the WNBA or in college basketball, the NBA basketball, I look at a few things. I look at offensive rating. I look at defensive rating. I look at how many minutes does players play. I look at the win shares on offense. I look at the win shares on defense. I look at all these things. It's in this algorithm, and it spits this stuff out. And it goes like this. If you are an efficient basketball player and you play both sides of the court, you are rewarded by Captain Will. You are rewarded. You get a gold star and a circle around it and an arrow pointing at it because you compete on both sides of the court. If you play offensively and you don't play defense, you're not a star in my eyes. That just means you can shoot the ball. That's all it means to me. And if you play defense and you don't play offense, you're not a star to me because you're only playing one side of the court. The players I'm talking about are offensively and defensively really good. Really good. You don't get a star with a circle and an arrow when you lead the league in turnovers. When you're shooting 33% from the three. You don't. So many players are not getting the shine, not getting the buzz that they should be getting. And for some folks to say that Dawn Staley kept Caitlin Clark off of this team, you gotta be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. There should be an uproar about Nneka Ogwumike, who's not on the team. Is anybody discussing that? I read this article, and I gotta pull this up. I read this article, and it said, and this is the mindset of some folks. This is the mindset. Caitlin Clark left off USA women's basketball roster for 2024 Paris Olympics. The USA women's basketball roster for the 2024 Paris Olympics has been announced, and it includes some notable omissions. Rising star Caitlin Clark, who became college basketball all-time leading scorer earlier this year, is reportedly off Team USA roster. Despite her impressive performance in the WNBA, Clark did not make the cut for the national team, which is aiming for an 8th consecutive gold medal at the Olympics. While the decision to omit Clark is controversial, the team will still feature other talented players like Areka I can always mess up Ogunbowale. Always. And first off, the article's wrong. She's not even on the team. That's the first thing. Fans and experts are closely watching how Team USA performs in Paris without Caitlin Clark on the roster. I ain't even gonna say who did it. I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't gonna say none of those things. But that whole mess right there, because folks will read that like, oh my God, oh wow. And she is going to be a great player, in my humble opinion. Once she actually starts guarding folks, she will be a phenomenal player, in my humble opinion. I like me some Caitlin Clark. I do. I like her drive. I like her intensity. I don't like how she complains about fouls every damn time, looking like LeBron James that they're fouling all the time. But I like her. But we got to get back to some realities of the situation. We really do. We have to so we are looking at to see how Team USA is going to do with Caitlin Clark on the roster. A team that has the best player in the world, A'ja Wilson. Best player in the world, A'ja Wilson. A team that has 4 players and Aja Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, who have won back-to-back WNBA titles. Brianna Stewart, Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Nafisha Collier. Like, what are we discussing? Where's the discussion? If she would have been on this team and skipped the line, because that's exactly what would have happened, she would have skipped the line over a whole bunch of players. Because I see people, oh yeah, I was just going to watch Team USA basketball because Caitlin Clark was going to play. Well, first off, if that's the way you feel, don't watch. Don't watch. We don't want you to watch because you're not watching women's basketball. You're not supporting women's basketball. You're not trying to increase the level of women's basketball. You just want to see a player. And you're pissed off if that player ain't playing. That's not what if you are a follower and a lover of basketball, men's and women basketball, then you'll be watching Team USA because you're literally watching the best players in the world play against each other. Now I have my qualms about some players on this roster who I believe they should not be on this roster. I don't believe Brittany Griner should be on this roster. She has not played enough to earn a spot this year. And if we're talking about this year, she hasn't earned a spot this year to make the roster. But in previous years, obviously, Brittany Griner is one of the greatest WNBA players to ever play basketball. That is a fact. Same with Diana Taurasi. I don't think Diana Taurasi should have been on this squad. I know. She's shooting 36% from the three, shooting about 38% from the field. Defensively, she's a non-factor. I don't think so, but she's been on the squad forever. I think I want to say for the last 20 years, she's been working with Team USA. And that brings up another point, because we talking about Dawn Staley. We want to shoot daggers at Dawn Staley or what she's done trying to boycott Caitlin Clark, making sure she don't make the team. Was there ever a conversation about Gino when he was coaching multiple gold medals in Team USA, when he stacked the squad multiple years with players from UConn? Is there ever a question about that? Has that ever been brought up? Has that ever been brought up when the year that Nneka Ogwumike was their WNBA MVP and did not make the freaking Olympics? How is that possible? The MVP of 2016 did not make the 2016 Olympic team. But Gino was a head decision maker on that committee. He picked and chose. But nobody talk about that. Then she didn't make it in 2021. We know 2020 was COVID. She didn't make it in 2021. Like, I'm bugging. And somebody forgot about Candace Parker. Candace Parker, 2016, didn't make it. Two-time WNBA MVP did not make it. And she came out and said, obviously, Gino basically don't like me. We don't have a great relationship. I'm not on the team. But we want to talk about Dawn Staley. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So you had a player the caliber of Candace Parker not making the 2016. And then she was like, okay, I didn't make it. So obviously Nneka Ogwumike was going to make it. And then you have neither one on that squad. But you had like four UConn Huskies on that squad and not the best player in the world that year. But we making a hoopla about Caitlin Clark. Y'all can miss me with that mess. You can miss me with that mess because that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense. It's comical, actually. It's comical. If Caitlin Clark was on this roster, who would you take off? Who would you take off? Okay, I said that. I mentioned that I don't think Diana Taurasi should be on this roster. Fine. Shouldn't be on the roster. Who will go in her place? Who going to play? Kayla McBride. Kayla McBride is the easy choice for me. Should be in her place. Having a much better year than Diana Taurasi. Not as a popular player than Taurasi, but she's having a much better year. So I would take her off. Okay, that's easy. That's easy for me. The second one, Brittany Griner. It's a whole lot of folks talking about Brittany Griner should not be on this team. I feel the same way because she hasn't played enough. She's coming off an injury. Same way. So who would you put on that squad in place of her? You can go multiple places. My first one is Nneka Ogwumike. She has earned it. She needs to be on this team. You can talk about DeWanna Bonner, who has balled out and is right now top 5 in the WNBA in terms of actual basketball. A lot of different ways. Chelsea Gray, who is coming off an Achilles injury. I don't think Chelsea Gray should be on this team. I don't. Not at all. I don't think she should be on this team. And if you're not having the quote unquote point guard in the WNBA who is coming off an injury, and we still don't know when she's coming back, are you going to replace Chelsea Gray with the point guard who leads the league in turnovers and shooting 33% from three? Because that's our game. Caitlin Clark's game is threes. She shoot 9 attempts per basketball game. In college, she shot 14 attempts per basketball game. That is what she does. But so you're going to put Caitlin Clark in the place of Chelsea Gray? Hell no. No. If you're going to put anybody, you're going to say Alicia Gray. You have multiple ball handlers on this squad. Jackie Young is killing it right now with Chelsea Gray not playing. But you have to make it make sense to me. And ain't no in the Caitlin Clark fans, y'all just got to make it make sense to me. I'm like, and I was going a little bit back and forth with someone that was talking about elite player at so many levels, the GOAT of the WNBA. I had to stop that conversation quick because obviously that person don't watch the WNBA. So I had to stop that conversation. Then I just asked, I said, so where's she's elite at? Where's Caitlin Clark elite at? Somebody tell me, where is she elite at? She's 7th in the league in attempts, so she's gonna score points. She will score points because she's shooting a bunch of attempts. She's playing a ton of minutes. So she's going to score points because she's shooting the ball a lot. She's shooting 9 threes a game. Hell, some of them going to go in. So you're going to score a lot. Even though you're shooting 37% from the field and 33% from three. That's not elite. Just because you shoot a lot. So volume means elite. Does that mean elite? It doesn't in my book. She gets 6 assists. I think she's like top 5 in the league in assists. That is awesome. That is great. But you're the point guard. And you also lead the league in turnovers. So assist to turnover ratio of 1-to-1 is horrible. That's not elite. So you can be top 5 in the league in assists. But if you're number 1 to give him the ball up, that's not efficient, y'all. That's not efficient. She rebounds the ball well as a point guard. I have to give her credit on that end, for sure. She seems to be a good leader. She works her butt off. She seems to never get tired. Those are the traits that I see with her. But she has to improve her shooting. She has to get out of this notion that because I'm shooting from 35 feet, that's what the fans want to see. But if you are not hitting those shots, you are giving the other opposing team more opportunities to rebound the basketball, and because Indiana plays no defense, to score the basketball. Indiana or other teams want Caitlin Clark shooting from 35 feet. They want her to 33 feet because she's not hitting them well. You have to guard certain players who are shooting over 40% differently. And I hear folks, oh my God, yeah, they're picking up on defense from 94 feet, doing these double teams and all this and that. I don't know why. Because she ain't shooting well. She's not shooting the ball well, y'all. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it will change. But I don't know. That's why we got to watch the games. And I'm talking about watch the games. Don't watch the box score. Because ESPN is notorious for this mess right here. Just showing one piece of the box score. But then don't talk about the other stuff. Oh, she had 20 points. She had 20 points. But we're not going to discuss how she got those 20 points because she was 4 for 14 or all these different things. Not going to talk about that. So you got to look in between the lines. You got to look in between the pages and see what's really, really, really going on. Let's go through a few of these questions. Lysander Green, you was the first one to comment. And thank you for being a member. Dawn Staley is to blame for Caitlin Clark not making Team USA. Wow. Why am I not surprised? Exactly. You're not coming for the queen now. We can't have those situations. The queen of South Carolina, Dawn Staley, we're not having no situation where she's being blamed for stuff that she got no control over. Like she got to overrule 4 other people. And why would she? She's a basketball genius. Come on. Like, bro, Lamar Donald, why is there so much hate for Coach Dawn? Lamar Donald, thank you for being a member as always. I mean, Dawn Staley's not a cookie cutter type coach. I've heard people talking about Dawn Staley don't know X's and O's. You are legitimately talking about the player who was a highlight reel in high school, Player of the Year, Virginia, WNBA All-Star, multiple gold medals as a player and a coach. Let's say that again. Multiple gold medals as a player and coach. Dawn Staley. 3 national championships. Don't know X's and O's. What planet is that person living on? Or what planet are those people who think that is living on? Dawn Staley has forgotten more basketball than I will ever know. Matter of fact, Dawn Staley has forgotten more basketball than anybody watching me right now will ever know. You think it's easy to change a program like South Carolina, who was dormant? They were almost giving away tickets to the University of South Carolina women's basketball teams. Almost giving them away. Nobody was coming except family members, staff, and the ones they can get the tickets away. Dawn Staley brought a program in 16 years to 3 national championships. What? And then everybody gonna like what Dawn Staley says or does, but that's Dawn Staley. And we love her for that because she's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. She is not gonna hide behind something. She's gonna tell you how she feels. And some people are gonna like it, some people are not gonna like it. But with that being said, she's getting, to me, it's just to me, she's getting a lot of hate that other coaches don't get. A lot of these other coaches get passes, but Dawn Staley says some mess, and y'all are ready to just tear her completely down. But we're not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Debbie Brown, why? Because coach put that greatness of defensive powerhouse Raven Johnson on CC. Robert, Dawn Staley has been an advocate of Caitlin Clark. Say less, Robert. You're absolutely right. Have Dawn Staley ever came out and said, I don't like that Caitlin Clark? Have she ever said anything negative about Caitlin Clark? Dawn Staley has said that Caitlin Clark has opened so many doors for other people. She likes Caitlin Clark. It's just the narrative of some of these folks. Mocha Latte, what's up? She doesn't deserve to be on the Olympic roster. There are other players outside of those that made the roster that are better. TD Sports Card 1. Tarasi is shooting 37% and 36 from 3. She sure is. And I'm definitely not going to say that she should be on this roster. Not at all. TD Sports Card 1, she should not be on the roster. Diana Taurasi should not be on this roster at all. Caleb McBride should be on this team. For sure. But compare, and I know TD Sports Card one, I know you comparison to Rossi to Caitlin Clark. Compare Caleb McBride to Caitlin Clark. I mean, yeah, do that one. Do that comparison. And it ain't no comparison whatsoever. None. And she actually plays better defense than Caitlin Clark. Just keep it real, y'all. Just keep it real. Junior Ramos, Magic Johnson, and Steph Curry average 5 turnovers a game too. It's normal when you have the ball all the time. You are a novice in basketball, bro. Junior Ramos. Let's say this right here. Magic Johnson, one of the greatest point guards in the history of the NBA. First off, the NBA games are 48 minutes long, 12-minute quarters. Let's begin with that. And WNBA games are 40 minutes long. So the games are shorter. You're talking about 8 minutes a game. Shorter. And you're discussing about a stat in reference to Magic averaging turnovers. Magic Johnson ain't never led the league in turnovers, ever, in the history of ever. And please, Lord Jesus, please, do not compare Magic Johnson, 6'9", point guard extraordinaire, leader on top of leaders, winner at all levels, to what Caitlin Clark is right now and what she's done in the past. Caitlin Clark did not win a state championship in high school. Caitlin Clark did not win a national championship. We don't know how this WNBA, her career is going to go, but there is no comparison of one Magic Johnson, who's on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest basketball players to ever live, to Caitlin Clark. Don't do that. You sound crazy. And then you talk about Steph Curry. First of all, here's the thing, right? Steph Curry is not a point guard. Steph Curry is not a point guard for his own team. He's not. You watch the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green leads the team in assists. Steph Curry is 6'3", 6'2.5", really. 6'3". He's not a point guard, but he's still getting, and you just said 5 turnovers a basketball game. Caitlin Clark led college basketball in turnovers. She's leading the WNBA in turnovers. If you have the basketball in your hands all the time, you're going to have more turnovers. I get that completely. There are 12 starting point guards in the WNBA. She leads the league in turnovers. Are those point guards leading the league in turnovers? No. But thank you for your comment. Clary Fennell, Junior Ramos. Yep, she has the ball all the time, and is why the team sucks. I ain't even say it, but hey, you thank you for being a member. Coffee Shop Chatter. Lloyd Gray is not a popularity contest. It's like, okay, who's the most popular players? They should be on the league, on the team. So right now, the most popular player is Caitlin Clark. The second most popular player in the league right now is Cameron Brink. The third most popular player right now is Angel Reese. So all three of them should be on the Olympic team? Come on, yo. Come on. Karen Richardson, CC did not make the team. It's okay. The world will not stop, and maybe she can make it for the next one. She said that. She said it's the hardest team to make in the world. Hardest team in the way. She's just starting her career, y'all. But fans getting all crazy because she didn't make the team. Well, I'm gonna let you know right now. Don't get offended when she don't make the All-Star team. Don't get offended when she don't make the All-Star team. And I ain't talking about she'll probably make it because of popularity and blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about there's no way in the world that Caitlin Clark, up to this point, should be on anybody's all-star team, because she definitely ain't one of the top 24 players in the WNBA. Definitely. And she definitely ain't no, if you talk about the all-star team, you have about 3 or 4 guards on each team. So you put Caitlin Clark on, it's going to be a similar situation where you're going to have these outstanding players who are playing better than her, not on the squad. That ain't going to happen. We cannot pacify the league because of one player. You can't do that. And you just can't pacify the league because she's popular and she's putting butts in the seats. But that's what they're going to do. We know Caitlin Clark will be in an all-star game. We do. We do. It's a scrimmage. It's a scrimmage. And she will be there. Going to put butts in the seats and everybody going to be glorified. Oh, she made an all-star game. Blah, blah, blah. Right now, I saw some rankings of rookies. Rookies. You know what I'm saying? I saw some names of rookies, like top 5 rookies who are playing well right now. I saw those. Caitlin Clark is not in the top 5 in rookies right now. But we're going to put her on an Olympic team. Okay. Got it. Billy Pointer, you're missing the point. Doesn't matter. They can't pull it. It's about money, and those ladies can't pull the crowds. Those ladies can't pull the crowds. I don't know, man. I mean, like, I thank you for the comment, but last time I checked, I see Las Vegas selling out stuff. I see Chicago Sky selling out stuff. I see New York Liberty selling out stuff. I see Connecticut Sun selling out stuff. This is the cool thing about basketball, or the cool thing about sports in general. One of my favorite sports individuals is Tiger Woods. One of my favorite of all time. My wife got me a dope portrait, and I hang it up in my office. And it's when he won the 2019 Masters. It was amazing. I've been rocking with Tiger Woods since 1995, 1996. Okay. Similar age, same age. And Tiger Woods at one time was the best player in the world. Best player in the world in golf by a million miles, right? Tiger Woods have had so many injuries, personal stuff, all these different things that he's had in his later life. Tiger Woods, I'm 49, just turned 49. Tiger Woods almost 50 years old. He is not Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods have not been Tiger Woods since 2019. Okay? And he would never be Tiger Woods. Ain't gonna happen. His back is fused together with Scott Shape. Okay? So, but you have an event with Tiger Woods in it tomorrow, it will be a sellout because you're there to see Tiger Woods. Now, I'm not saying that Caitlin Clark will ever get in that level of a Tiger Woods. What I am saying that you will find out what a player is in this league. You will. She is not the first player, number 1 player to come in this league. She's not. She's not the best player to come in this league. Those are people who think that didn't really watch women's basketball. Didn't really do that. If Caitlin Clark keeps this pace of shooting 33% from 3 and 37% from the field and leads the league in turnovers, this novelty of Caitlin Clark will start to wear down. Trust me. Trust me. It's going to happen. I've seen so many number 1 picks who are can't miss picks in basketball, in football, in boxing, in UFC, in tennis. You name the sport. And I'm not saying that she's not going to be a sensational player. I'm not saying that. But she has a lot of work. And for the ones who constantly don't discuss the warts of her game, you're looking crazy and you sound crazy. She has flaws in her game, y'all. I've talked about it. She can improve on it. But she's not where she will be 5 years from now, 6 years from now. So stop trying to make it seem like she is her. She is not her. She's not her right now. She could be, but it ain't 2024. And stop trying to elevate this young lady who never says anything wrong. Her interviews are on point. She is poignant. She's smart. She seemed active. She didn't ask for all this publicity. She didn't. And the same ones, if she doesn't reach this height that her fans are putting her to, will be the same ones who tear her down. The same ones. And they'll be on to the next one. They'll be on to Paige Beckers. They'll be on to Juju Watkins. They'll be on to MiLaysia Fulwiley, Hannah Hidalgo. I could go on and on. They'll be on to the next one. But you have to have a conversation about the things she ain't doing right, y'all. Come on now. And Scary Harry Flanagan, she is setting records. She damn sure is setting records. She's about to set a record with the most turnovers in WNBA history. That's a record that you don't want to talk about. She might set the record for the most turnovers in the history of this league. That ain't something you want to discuss. She's setting records. She's shooting a lot. Be Magic. To say CC isn't a great shooter is blasphemous. I like that word. That's cool. I guarantee you, you wouldn't bet any money on any girl in the world to beat CC in the three-point contest. Be Magic. I love the comment, and I love the challenge. I love the challenge. I wouldn't bet money. Captain Will. Obviously, you don't know Captain Will well. I am a notorious gambler. And so you throw that challenge at me, and I can name multiple people who would beat CC in a three-point contest. Multiple. One of which resides at the University of South Carolina. Her name is Tahina Oceanside Pow Pow. The best shooter of the basketball in college. While Caitlin Clark was shooting 38% from three, Tahina Pow Pow was shooting 47% from the three-point line. The player who I would put money on to beat Caitlin Clark ain't even in the WNBA yet. Y'all better stop glorifying this woman like she the best shooter since sliced bread. She ain't. She is not at all. Stop it. Y'all putting expectations like y'all never seen before. Watch basketball. Pull up some clips of Tina Pow Pow. Did she shoot 14 three-pointers a game? She sure didn't. She didn't. She shot about 5.5 to 6 three-pointers per game, and she hit 47% of them, while your girl was shooting 37%, 38% from three. I think it was 37% from three on 14, 15 attempts. Don't put volume of shooting with greatness. Don't do that. Because the Pow Pow was shooting 14 three-pointers per basketball game at 47%. It don't tell her how many points she would have. What are you talking about? And ain't even talking about the WNBA players who would beat her in a three-point contest. She hit some damn threes. Hit some threes. She's shooting 33% from the three. It's literally 30 players. I ain't gonna say 30. It's literally 20 players in the W who shoot a higher three-point percentage than Caitlin Clark. Stop it. Stop it. Tripping. And Claire, no, I didn't even see your comment. And you said Pow Pow. I wasn't even looking at it. And you said Pow Pow. No, I ain't seen no Tina Pow Pow. You better Google her. You better do a little research. You know, back in the COVID days, everybody talking about I'm doing research and doing research. Don't put out comments like that when you actually don't know. You don't know. Here's the thing. We talked about. Yo, this is funny to me. So, Caitlin Clark, her shooting percentage in college. Pow. This is just Gamecocks. This is Gamecocks, the number one shooting 3-point team in country last year in college basketball. Pow shot 47%. I'm just going to name the ones on our team who shot a higher percentage, who were better shooters than your Caitlin Clark. Pow, Tessa Johnson, Bree Hall were all better shooters, and they are on our team. And for the ones who were talking about Raven Johnson shot 34% from three herself. And they was talking about how poor Raven shot. Yo, your girl is shooting 33%. Make it make sense to me. Come on. Charles Evans, CC is cool with it. She has stated she will use the rejection as motivation. Caitlin has pure class. She wishes the best for Team USA. And she had that comment. What'd she say? She said, y'all woke up a monster. I love that. I love comments like that. Y'all woke up I don't know if she said, no, the country where it said, y'all done woke up a monster, or y'all woke up I'm not sure how she said it. But at the end of the day, she's taking it for motivation. And I want that. I love basketball. I want to see the best players play against the best players. I like competition. That's what I love. In my JJ obsession, Tara Vanderveer told Dawn Staley she didn't make the team because she turned the ball over too much. Same with CC. Okay. Jumpman 23-8-23. I'm curious. We all know Fever is not going to make the playoffs this season. So I wonder if CC's fans are going to be invested in attendance is go down because CC not making the playoffs. You bring up a great question. Bring up a great question. And Indiana will definitely not make the playoffs, even though, 8 teams make the playoffs out of 12, but as we get more teams in the WNBA, it'll be tougher to make. But anyway, Indiana will be one of the poorest teams in the league. Washington Miss is by far the poorest team. Washington Miss is a horrible professional basketball team. So would it be on to the next one? It's possible. It's very possible that could happen. It's very possible. And be on to the next fangled thing. This is a situation. What do you... There's so many people. You got hundreds of thousands of people following the new sport, supposedly, of WNBA and college basketball. And you have a lot of people giving Caitlin Clark the credit for that. And in some cases, that is true, right? But when the newfangled thing isn't as shiny, do you still hold on to the newfangled thing? Or you go on to the next newfangled thing? Is that a situation? Is that going to happen with all these new fans? We'll see. We will see. We will see how that thing transpires after more losses, after more shooting woes. We will see. That's the fun about basketball. That is the fun about basketball. We will see what happens because it's going to happen on the court. All these questions, all these things, what happened? What happened? But for the Caitlin Clark fans who still hearing the sound of my country voice, just look beyond the numbers. Look beyond the numbers and don't glorify poor play. Regardless of what these outlets are telling you, stop. Because like I said before, early on in the show, you have a lot of outlets who will not tell you the truth about a sport because they have a script they have to talk about certain things, and they can't tear down certain players and their play. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's not a secret. You hear the commentators and say, oh, Caitlin got 18 points, but not just Caitlin. Tarasa got 22 points, but then she shooting 3 for 15 or something crazy. You know? You just got to put everything in context and just do your research. But that's fine. When you don't want to do your research, tune in to Captain Will. I'll do that for you. That's what I do. That's what I do. Thank you for another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. I'll be live tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. I was going to do an 8 o'clock p.m. show today, talking about a whole nother topic, but I had to talk for 55 minutes and 57 seconds about this whole Dawn Staley mess. You got to be kidding me. You're not rocking with the best. Since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's go.